What makes a gory slasher film more than just a typical slasher? Keep watching to find out about the new term coined by one of Hollywood's horror maestros to classify Terrifier 2. If you're a film person, you've probably already heard about the balls-to-the-wall chaotic gore fest that is Terrifier 2. Art the Clown returns from the dead to live his best happy-go-lucky slasherific life, and he has done so with aplomb, based on reports of people puking while watching the film in theaters. Who can blame him, though? Wouldn't we kill to make sure that we were perpetually stuck in our own happy place? For Art, he most definitely would, and proves it in this latest terrifying installment. Just to get you caught up to speed, Terrifier 2 features the return of David Howard Thornton as the suspiciously happy murder clown. Something has brought Art the Clown back from the dead, and like any other giddily blood-seeking clown would want to do, it's not long before he starts terrorizing Miles County again. Per convenient slasher timing, Art the Clown returns on Halloween night and fixates on a teen and her younger brother. With Terrifier 2 getting widespread attention, people have been slowly coming out of the woodwork to talk about where it sits within the genre. It's not quite a traditional slasher the way horror fans have come to understand it, even though Art the Clown fulfills the definition of a slasher by hunting and killing groups of people. Modern horror is always getting renamed something or other these days. Most horror fans have gotten used to rolling our eyes at the term elevated horror because God forbid we hold horror to any sort of esteem in these film-watching parts. It's got to be elevated for anyone to take it seriously, or give it the respect the genre rightfully deserves. Please note the sarcasm. Saltiness aside, when it comes to Terrifier 2, its full embrace of practical effects and luxuriating and making people watch and take in every excruciating detail of the carnage Art enacts on his victims reads as something different altogether in our horrorscape. It's a slasher, but it also embraces the kind of feel that you typically see in a grindhouse theater, with its low-budget, gory splatter horror that aims to make audiences squirm. Horror maestro Mike Flanagan, who directed Dr. Sleep and the hit Netflix show The Haunting of Hill House, had his own thoughts on how Terrifier 2 should be categorized. Taking to Twitter, Flanagan said, "Terrifier 2 is wild, very ambitious and deeply disturbing. Practical effects are off the chain. Lauren Lavera is quite terrific, and Art the Clown is downright ghastly. Seem to have invented a new subgenre, the mega slasher. Big respect to all involved." While Flanagan clearly liked the film, the classification of Terrifier 2 as a mega slasher, or inventing a new subgenre, is interesting. What differentiates a mega slasher from a regular old slasher film? What are the parameters? And will people agree with this classification? As human beings, we like easy classifications for things. In horror, this becomes a bit muddy when you take into consideration the many subgenres that make up the scope of horror. From psychological to splatter to the supernatural, one can argue that there is no need for the creation of a new subgenre like a mega slasher. Terrifier 2 could easily fit into two subgenres of horror already, depending on how you look at it, without needing a newly invented subgenre.
Stay back. Stop, please, stop. Stay away from me. No, please. Wait.
Obviously, Terrifier 2 involves Art hunting down people and killing them, with the inevitable face-off between himself and the final girl, Sienna. Classic slasher material. However, the gore levels in this film are likely what led to that mega slasher label. But there's already a subgenre that would fulfill that, the splatter genre. The splatter genre is defined by its focus on gore and graphic violence, which both of the Terrifier films have in abundance. Art the Clown takes his sweet time destroying his victims, with the audiences morbidly locked into witnessing these slowly wrought, violent acts of destruction. The splatter genre is also incredibly theatric with the delivery of its gore, which the Terrifier films also revel in. But there is that slasher element to consider, so there is a genre blur here. However, a blurring of the genres is nothing new in horror, so the invention of a new subgenre seems unnecessary. If one must, one could argue Terrifier 2 is a splatter slasher, if anything.